These videos are brought to you by G66 UK, and that's the place in the UK that now there's no wait list for FM3, FM9 or FM3, and there's a UK service centre, no import charges or anything like that to pay. So G66 UK will sort you out, so go chat to him. I wanted to do a video today on some of the tweedier sides of things which are within the Fractal-verse, because I think it's a little bit of an area that for me certainly I've overlooked to some extent, just because in real life it's again a thing that I've not seen much of at all, and I think we tend to kind of gravitate towards things that we are familiar with to some extent. Anyway, so the Tweed amplifier to me isn't that evocative of too much at all, but they are very different in some ways to like the black and silver face stuff. This amp here is the Super Tweed, and 263 is where you find this. I believe this is based on one of the amps from the Axe-Fx Ultra. You can see from here I've got the gain down really quite low. It's kind of doing that cranked tweed thing. So the rest of this signal chain, I've actually chosen this G12T100 speaker because it had quite a nice smoothest kind of thing to it. There are actual Deluxe Tweed type cabs that you could pair it with, and that sort of thing, but I quite like to voice these amps with, you know, smoother tones for me personally. These have quite a lot of bass as well, these particular cabs. So we're using the ribbon mic on this one and the condenser mic here. What I like about the Tweed experience is that you do tend to get quite good cleanup. But as you dig in, you get a bit more kind of that souped up thing. So the Super Tweed is actually pretty gnarly. And what you might notice is that there's this really nice kind of envelope and flub, kind of, might be one way to describe it, but like a really open kind of amp sizzly like low end. And so really responsive to kind of, so that's the Super Tweed, a really good option. Keith's amp is in here. I've done a video on this altogether, but this is the kind of high-powered twin Tweed. Keith Urban, this is actually a model of his amp which he let Keith. And this has a bit kind of more bigness and sag to it, I might call it. But it's got a really lovely sag to it, which works really nicely. Yeah, so I'm just using the SDD preamp, which is one of the edges kind of things. I've done a video on that as well, actually. But Keith Urban's amp, I think, is definitely one worth looking at. You can also pair it, I believe, with his cab if you go into the Legacy section. Legacy, I think it might be cab 13 or something like that. There. Yeah, scenes 5, 6, 7, 8 have this drive turned on. Now there's also the Deluxe Tweed. I kind of chose to highlight that it's got this really nice really nice quality to it in terms of being like a warm, clean sound. If we wanted to clean up the lower end a little bit, I might do something like a low shelf, just, I don't know, this sort of thing. Particularly if I was then going to hit it with a drive. Or up the definition as well. Some things which can really change the character of the amp itself as well. And then, obviously, we've got the 59 Bassman, which I think is a great option as well. See here, I've just got the bright up at 6.8. The drive in front of it. It's got a really kind of fuzzy quality to it, which I quite like because it's, you know, like the opposite of that super tight thing. I don't know, this to me got that kind of element at the start of the note with that envelope that I was talking about earlier. So that's kind of just, I don't know, a little whistle-stop tour of some of the stuff that's in there in the Tweed amp section. As I say, scene 5, 6, 7 and 8. Chucking that drive in front of them. Keith Urban amp is noticeably saggier than some of the rest. That Deluxe Tweed has a bit more headroom. Bassman is actually pretty, although I'm not even using the Bassman there, that's the Super Tweed. Pretty nice, and also, yeah, check out the Super Tweed. Kind of hot-rodded tweed tones. I think it's a pretty cool sound to me, to be honest, and cleans up really nicely. Yeah, and has a real organicness to it. So check that out. I'll drop this into the Gumroad folder. Drop me an email if you've not got the link to that and you've paid before. You don't need to keep paying again and again. Thanks to G66 for supporting the channel with these videos, and I'll catch you soon.